video which went viral, right?
Siri, what is 1 trillionth to the 10th power?
1000000000000.
How did it come into being?
So, to me, who touched my heart and who always touches my heart is A.R. Rahman. And I get a call from my friend.
If you interview A.R. Rahman, he wants you to sing with him.
वो disappointment आ जाता है, and that's when I think a lot of young people are facing that. A lot of content creators are facing that कि they छोड़ देते हैं फिर.
Right.
And that's when the real struggle is. If you're in a relationship, like my world revolves around you.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I mean, I like my space too. That's something that I learned from him, and that's what helps us today in a relationship. I'm a 90s kid. Today's generation is very different. They've already started investing in cryptos and all of that, but I definitely wasn't one of them. You need to take a break when you really feel like taking a break, and I think a lot of people don't understand that.
One request of yours. Okay, wait. I'll say that we can't finish this show without you singing. So, and that's where we'll finish it off. Welcome to Women of Wonder by Reema Mahajan, or WOW Women as we lovingly call it. This is our initiative to bring forward to you journeys of ambitious and empowered women so that we can all take inspiration from it. My guest today is really special. She is an RJ, she is a dancer, she's a singer, she is a television host, and she is a multi-talented MC. Welcome to the show, Pavithra.
Thank you, Reema. So nice to be here. And I don't know if you called me. Are you sure all that was me?
Yes.
I was like, oh, is there someone else who's going to be? But thank you. That's so kind of you.
Absolutely. Lovely to have you on the show. And how does it feel to be the other side of interviewing?
I mean, lately, now that, this whole podcast thing is so out there, and I really like the fact that you chose this place and at such a comfortable space. I was just talking about it, that it's so nice to be here, man. I mean, to be on the other side is always like you're thinking of your next question.
Yes.
You're always on your toes. And radio, you get very little time. And you need everything crisp, right? It needs to be under 2.5, 3 minutes. So you're trying to keep it tight. But here, I'm just relaxed, honestly. I'm just a little dressed up, but I'm relaxed.
You beautifully dressed up, and I think this is going to be a wonderful conversation. And I'd love to start with radio, that you've mentioned it. Talk to us about your journey of how did RJing start? When did you land in Dubai? How did it all happen?
This was back in 2013 when I got a call from a radio station in Dubai. It was a regional radio station. I'm a Malayali.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a deep-rooted Malayali. I was, born and brought up in Kochi. I went to a school there. It was a defense school. That's how I learned a little bit of Hindi. And I think that's going to be the next question, so I'm just answering it. And then I went to Tamil Nadu for my graduation. I did visual communication, और उसके बाद मैं वापस आई, and then I took up event management. I used to be a wedding planner. And वो करते करते I got a lot of other projects to freelance. And when I got a call to be an RJ in Dubai, I remember I'm like, RJing in Dubai in a Malayalam radio station? I mean, is this even legit? Like, do they have like... Because I've heard FMs in India and they're great.
Yes.
And I've also heard some of the FM stations, which is, of course, where I work. And I kind of manifested to work at this radio station where I currently work, but I never got that job. I got another network, which was okay to start with. It was great to get that opening. I think it's always nice to get that, you should brush your skills and then get into the big space. So I took it up because I told my parents that this is the salary. And back then, to get that salary compared to, when you're in India, you're just like, "Arey, 2 lakh rupees, wow, ye to bahut badi baat hai." So my mom was like, I think you should take it up because you're always taking up freelance projects. Pata nahi ye seasonal time pe acha karti ho, or otherwise you're just, like just running from one paycheck to the other. You don't know how it's going to be, monetarily beneficial. So all those thoughts, right? So I thought, okay, I'll take it up. My dad used to work in Abu Dhabi anyway.
Right.
And I took my mom along with me, and I wanted to move to Dubai together because I didn't want to leave her alone. And we've never really spent a lot of time with my entire family together. My dad's always, been in the Gulf, earning money for us. And my mom and I, and of course my brother, we've been together in India. So I thought we should probably move down here and settle here and be in in a comfortable space.
Yes.
And yeah, that's how
And
it
the family
started.
together.
Yeah.
And you landed here with your suitcases 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And how has Dubai treated you in the last 10 years?
I moved to Sharjah first, and I didn't like it at all, to be honest, because I had to travel 1.5 hours every single day to get to my workspace.
Right. Yes.
That was the only thing. I was very happy with my rent there. I moved to Dubai, and my parents moved to Abu Dhabi because thoda sa progress hua, monetary wise or just career wise, and I wanted to stay very close to work. Yeah, so basically that way. And then from one regional language to Hindi, and Hindi was something that I always wanted to do.
Right.
Because I grew up as a typical Bollywood child. Though I'm a Malayali, I used to watch a lot of 90s Malayalam films.
Absolutely.
But Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, all of that I was always like wooed by it. I loved watching these films, and I used to think that, I want to do something like that. I want to be like Kareena Kapoor and all of that. And I think every child who has watched films have been that way. I was one of them. And when I was working in, like Malayalam radio stations for about 4-5 years, I got a call from a very famous radio jock. His name is Gagan Mudgal. I think a lot of people know him.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so Mr. Gagan Mudgal called me to the studio and said, "तुम हिंदी में कैसे बात कर लेती हो? I mean, तुम्हारा accent कैसा नहीं है? तुम मलयाली हो ना?" And then I said, and of course, like my Hindi wasn't as great as the other RJs,
Right.
but I had to work with them. I spent a lot of time with people from Delhi and Bombay, and I used to ask them to correct me if I was wrong, and I sing a little, so even with the loves that I use, like even if it's khwab, they'll ask me to pronounce it a certain way. So I learned a little bit of everything, and I love languages. I love learning languages in general.
Right.
Even Malayalam, you won't believe. I think I learned Malayalam after coming here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would you
Used
speak
to-
back home?
I did speak colloquial Malayalam, but it isn't like how they speak on radio. On radio, Malayalam is very different. There is a way of talking, there is a way of presenting, there are certain words you use. Otherwise,
Right.
people won't take you seriously. I'm talking about 10 years ago
Got
when I
it.
started my journey. I needed to sound like I am a radio personality.
Yes.
And people didn't take me seriously because I spoke a lot of English. I was very young. I was 21 years old.
Yes.
My colleagues were slightly older than me, and I had a voice, I think, which was heavier for my body. So listeners, I mean, it's radio at the end of the
Yes.
day. And back in the days, you didn't really have like such ardent social media
Right.
influencers, or we were not like,
Yes.
we were just on social media, but
Yes.
people couldn't associate with us like that. So they used to come to the studio and sometimes to collect their prizes, and they'd see me, they're like, "You're the one who's on radio? नहीं पवित्रा को बुलाओ यार."
So 10 years in Dubai, how has Dubai treated you?
Dubai's treated me very well. They've accepted me the way I am for being this Malayali girl who moved to Hindi radio station, and people have been very, very accepting, very warm. And this city has changed so much.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible in terms of just making me comfortable, right? Do you ever feel like going back to your own country? I think about it, but I'm just like, man, I can't adjust to a few inconveniences that happens in your own home country.
Yes.
I feel like Dubai is something else. Like, there is a hustle for money. You can can be a millionaire overnight. You can be a sensation overnight.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yes.
Like you can earn so much and have a good life. You can, you don't have to work as much and have a good life. There's all kind of spectrum out there.
And Dubai is like the city of luxury.
It is.
But there's so much more to it right now.
There's
isn't
a
it?
lot to it. We were just
Yes.
talking about it. Dubai is generally portrayed as, the city of luxury and comfort and
Golden Lamborghinis.
beautiful, locations and hotels. But there is a Dubai, which is true.
Yes.
But there is another way of looking at the city as well. I think in the past few days, thanks to social media, I feel like there are so many creators, a lot
Yes.
of creativity that happens here that kind of gets camouflaged in that whole portrayal of what the city looks like, the glitz
Yes.
and the glamour. Apart from that, there's a lot more to it, which I'm blessed to be a part of sometimes, blessed to see that on social media, and I go like, hey, it's nice to meet interesting people, which I didn't know existed.
Agreed.
And the
Dubai-
people even like, just meeting you guys,
Yes.
who had known that there are a bunch of creators out there who are noticing what you do.
Yes.
And I never thought my work is noticed. And sometimes because of that, you get very complacent. कि हाँ इतना कुछ किया है ना, अभी अब और क्या करना है? Because you're not you're not sure if that's paying off, but it does pay off. And I tell this to a lot of people. Do not get comfortable in your own space, because you know what? That's where you know you're not growing. The moment you're not comfortable with something that you're doing, you know there's something new that you're trying. Someone will notice it. It's your path, it's your career. You need to choose what you have to do. And I'm someone who's always been like, let's go with the flow.
Right.
But even in that go with the flow, I get very uncomfortable with my being comfortable situation. I cannot get comfortable after a certain point. I want to do something new.
Yeah, I think you're a multifaceted personality. I think you sing, you RJ, you host television shows. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that you are doing.
Yeah.
But going back to your RJing,
Yeah.
you host a lot of guests every day. Talk to
Yeah.
us about your favorite ones that you've come to your show.
I think unanimously, a lot of radio presenters who've interviewed him will say Shah Rukh Khan. He is just chivalrous. He gives a lot of respect to you. He talks. He pays a lot of attention to what you ask him. And women especially are wooed by him in general. So Shah Rukh Khan it is for a big star.
Right.
But to me, who touched my heart and who always touches my heart is A.R. Rahman. And every time I've had an opportunity, and he's a man of few words. He doesn't say a lot of things, but whatever he says, I just go like, maybe I'm just biased.
Yeah.
I am just biased because I am his shishya. I am his disciple. I don't know what to call it. There can't be one word. Sometimes I feel like I'm his daughter. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like there are many dreams that I get. Like I want to work more close to him.
Right.
I want to know him more. I want to
But
know
you
how he does.
already work with A.R. Rahman in his symphony, right?
Yeah, he has an orchestra team,
Yes.
which is run by all women.
Right.
It's called Firdaus Orchestra at the
Okay.
Expo. So this is a very interesting story if you want to know him again.
Absolutely. We want to know.
So back in 2017, I interviewed him first time at
Okay.
a Malayalam radio station, and I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. And we were also getting a chance to sing while he entered the room. So we did that. You know, we were all so nervous.
Yeah.
And I knew after I sing for him, the next thing is going to be the interview. So I
Yes.
did that. I was so nervous throughout the day. I had sweaty hands. I still do when I get a chance. But then that day was something else. And I also hosted his live concert
Yes.
at Sharjah. So after that, cut to 2021, when I got a chance to speak to him through a Zoom interview. Then I met him when Expo started. So while Expo had begun and he had a play with Shekhar Kapoor, I got a chance to interview them. So before the interview, I told my producer who had his camera, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to sing. I don't care. I'm just going to go for it. I
Yes.
will just sing 2 lines. अगर उनको अच्छा नहीं लगा, वो उठ के जा रहे हैं, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Right.
Because I just want to let it out.
Yes. I'm going to use my chance.
I just want to show my existence.
Yes.
I thought I'm just going to embarrass myself, and I did. He was sitting there, and I interview khatam ho gaya, and I said, "Sir, I'm such a huge fan of yours. I just want to sing 2 lines to you." And I sang, and he was like, He said, "Oh, you're a singer? Oh, okay, good." And then I think he just wanted to get out of that. And then 7 months later,
Right.
it was my first wedding anniversary. And I get a call from my friend who works at Firdaus Orchestra, who had no idea this interview had happened.
Right.
She called me and she's like, by the way, did you interview A.R. Rahman back in Jan? And this is happening in November. So I said, yeah. Oh, he wants you to sing with him. And the song is Kehna Hi Kya.
Amazing.
I'm like, huh? What? Bakwas mat kar, like, you know,
Yeah.
this can't be true. She's like, no, I'm actually serious. We sent your profile just to confirm it was you. Because nobody could believe it, I think. You know, they sent my Instagram profile. I'm like, you sent my Instagram profile to him. I post all kind of kachara out there. Like, what is this? And then I think they just wanted to see if it's the same girl.
Right.
And he said, she's that girl who interviewed me, and she sang also. She works in one
So
of
he
the
remembered
radio
you, although he
stations.
walked out of the room pretending not to remember you. Yes.
He was quite nice, but then they don't give a reaction.
he
he
did
never
not
gives
react.
a reaction.
Yes, yes.
His reaction, oh, you're a singer, was enough. That's a
Right.
big deal for
Yes,
someone who
absolutely.
sings.
Yes.
Because nobody knows how he reacts. He's never reacted, oh my God, that's fantastic. Then I'm like, wow. I'm nervous now because this is another stage of life, or, you know, you can call it another encounter that we're going to have for singing. Very nerve-wracking, but that happened. I kept my calm somehow. I kept it all together. I'm like, okay, this is your one shot, Pavi. Just don't let it go.
Just go for
Just
it.
do it. Just
you
do
did
it.
a lot of pep talk that morning.
Oh
Go
my
for it.
God. I don't think I did any talk with myself. I didn't talk to anybody. I also get very anxious and I kind of go like, I start talking to myself just in my mind. And if someone's talking to me, I just don't hear it. I'm like, ha, 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 I'll just do that. But after the concert, I remember I had my very close friends coming there to support me. And it was
Yeah.
just a beautiful feeling. I think that feeling was amazing.
I am sure.
And
I'm
that's
sure.
when, and you know, another interesting part is that day, while taking a shower or something, I was just thinking कि यार music में मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा.
Right.
Before I got that call from my friend, I was like, music में मेरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. It's just gonna be this. I'll do a 1-minute Instagram reel. कभी कभार I'll post. I'll get like 500, 600 people to like it. You know, there's a very small community who knows I sing, but it's not like I'm gonna take it up very seriously. So I left it. Then that was my thought. And this whole phone call reminded
Yes.
me that you'll never know where your life takes you.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that my life changed drastically. No. I mean, people got to know about it, which is great. But I need to struggle a lot more than I did back then. Because
Yes.
now I can't settle with that thought कि यार थोड़ा बहुत मैं कर लेती हूँ. No. Now I need to do some serious singing. Now I need to do a lot of collaborations. I need to start investing a lot of time
Yes.
into my music. So I think that's my plan for now.
Should we expect more music videos coming out very soon?
Yeah. I think it's just about experimenting what I know.
Yes.
And I am such a safe singer until now. मैं वही गाती हूँ जो मुझे comfortable लगता है क्योंकि I am someone who loves following artists like Sunidhi Chauhan or
Right.
Shalmali Kholgade or oh my God Shilpa Rao. These are some of my favorite singers and I don't attempt singing a male singer ka gana.
Right.
You know, and I'm trying to do that a lot as well these days. I want to experiment a little bit of this and that because you'll never know what people will like.
Yeah.
And more than people, I think now I started making music for my own self. मुझे अच्छा लगता है तो मैं बनाऊंगी. अगर मुझे डांस करने का अच्छा लगता है तो I will just make a dance video.
I think you dance brilliantly, by the way.
Yeah.
But you also had this viral video which went viral, right? With the Siri saying 000. What was that?
Yeah.
What happened there? How did it
Oh,
come into
that-
being?
Siri, what is 1/1000 to the 10th power?
Cogitating. The answer is
000.
So that was back circa 2016. So we were working in a Malayalam radio station and you know, we haven't even launched that station. Like back then, it was just in that planning stage. We were hired as presenters. We were spending a lot of time together with other presenters to get to know each other. तो हमें हर रोज एक homework type मिलता था where we are supposed to work on our voice modulations. We need to record our links बोलते हैं उसको.
Yeah.
You know, the way you talk on air. So we used to record all of that. So while doing that, we were sitting in that conference room and you know, we saw this Siri thing which was quite popular. People were just
Yeah.
asking random questions because Siri उस time पे बहुत popular हो गया था.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, we'll also do something with it. So my friend, he's a funny character. So he basically asked Siri, what is 1/100000th to the 10th power? And the Siri goes like 00000. Or usme he started beatboxing. And he said, Pavi, why don't you try singing something? And I thought, ki yaar, I'll sing some classical song. Because it was going with the beat, and I did. And my friend, who's actually a dancer, her name is Pooja, she started doing jati. Because she's a
Right.
dancer, she does thakatimi tam, takadim
Yeah.
tam. So when she did that, it just sounded nice together. So we
Yes.
recorded it.
Yes.
Little did we know that ये जो recording है, जो video recording है, that will be on the office group. And from
Yes.
the office group, someone put it on Facebook. उस time पे Instagram नहीं. They put it on Facebook. The next thing we know is that Vishal Dallani is texting us the next day.
Ah, amazing.
That this is stellar, like who are these guys?
Yes.
And you know, they're sharing the videos to a fact that we were so young. I'm talking about when we were 23, 24
Right.
years old. Nobody really knew where this is going. Because we are known to very few people, like, a small Malayalam community and
Right.
people who know that I sing a little bit. This was going everywhere. Like, I'm talking about Neo. He's an international singer.
Wow.
Like, we're on Rolling Stone.
Amazing.
They had an article about us. There were a lot of people who were publishing. So back then, it was, we didn't know what to do with this popularity per se. Or not popularity, it's just that attention.
Yes.
We thought we were, oh wow, this is great. But after a couple of days, I remember our boss called us to the cabin and said, Itna kyun ud rahe ho tum log? Whatever it is, you need this job. You have to be here.
You have to be here.
Come down, stay grounded.
Did you ever try recreating
So,
something like that?
We did. We tried recreating it, but obviously, see, when something is done organically, uska maza hi kuch aur hai.
Right.
But when we tried recreating it, people who were following us for a very long time, they knew what we were doing.
Yes.
So they
Okay.
kind of supported us, but it
Right.
didn't obviously reach
Not-
that level.
not go
Because that
viral.
was just, वो
Yeah.
सब
Sometimes it
ऐसे
clicks.
हो जाता है.
Yeah, some you don't know. It just clicks.
Yeah,
Click,
yeah,
click.
yeah.
This
Even
is
like a
this
recent
one.
video that I did for my radio station where, wedding videographers, they usually take such a long time to give our videos. लेकिन celebrity के
Yeah.
शादी पे एक दिन में दे देते हैं. So that also did really well. It went
Right.
to about 2.8 million views or something. And I'm
Amazing.
just
Yes.
like, यार, that was such, ऐसे ही कुछ भी किया था मैंने.
Yes.
When Kiara and Siddharth actors got married.
Yes.
That's one thing, right? You pay so much attention to what you're doing.
Yes.
You concentrate on what you're wearing. You hire a really good videographer. You put a lot of money into it, a lot thought into it, creativity, concept. और वो video कहीं पहुंचता ही नहीं है.
Yes.
You know,
Sometimes
you
the most
think-
hard worked videos don't even get like minimum number of views.
Yeah,
you
like
get,
I made
right?
like I thought was a decent enough mashup of a Malayalam song with some Afro beats and an
Right.
English number, but
Yeah.
it didn't hit that number that I thought in my head
it
would.
would hit, yeah.
So वो disappointment आ जाता है, and that's when I think a lot of young people are facing that. A lot of
Yes.
content creators are facing that कि they छोड़ देते हैं फिर.
Right.
यार क्यों करना है ये?
Yes.
You know, I mean, ये लड़की कुछ और ही कर रही है, ऐसे कर रही है, और she's getting the views. You know.
Right.
So why should I work hard?
Yeah.
And that's when the real struggle is. That's when you have to believe in yourself, like they say. And it's not just said like that. You have to.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of courage. You need to muster a lot of energy and get back to work the next day and again do the same thing.
show
And
up.
sometimes you're like, हाँ पता नहीं कौन सुन रहा है, लेकिन I like doing this. I'm going to speak about this on radio or social media or
Yes.
wherever. But someone's noticing.
I'm really glad you touched it because social media adds a lot of pressure to today's generation. And if you use social media the correct way, you can actually prosper, you can use it to learn, you can use it to grow,
Yeah.
whether it's your personal or passion, whatever you are trying to
Yeah.
follow.
I know that has happened in my own family. I have someone who's a content creator too, and she's really good at what she does. But sometimes I know like it's affecting her as well, and she spoke to me about it, and I started feeling the same thing a couple of months later.
Right.
There are times when I break down, and thankfully, that's when you need to have a supportive husband or a really supportive friend.
Yes.
And I confide a lot in Jaren. And I have to say that I don't give him a lot of credit.
Let's thank the husbands today. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. We have
tell us
to.
more about Jaren.
He's a very talkative
He talks
person.
more than you?
Oh my God, he does. But he's never going to admit that. The thing is, I love talking about my life or, काम पे क्या हुआ or yeah. For example, I
Yes.
did this interview today. I'm going to talk to him about it
Yes.
today. I will go back home and like, pata hai, Reema asked me these questions and it was, I don't know what she's probably thinking about me. And he's like, tu kitna baat karegi? Already you're doing a show of 3 hours.
Yeah.
But he also loves talking, and that's how we clicked. So
Right.
we met at a friend's party. It was a Bollywood costume party, and he's far away from Bollywood.
Okay.
He's a Malayali though.
Right.
But he watches Bollywood films, but he's not very good with his Hindi, or he doesn't know those characters to dress up as a character and come. I dressed up as Charlie Chaplin because Sridevi played Charlie Chaplin in Mr. India. Jaren was dressed up as Anil Kapoor from Mr. India.
Interesting. So
What are the
match
odds?
made in heaven.
Why? Because for him, that was the easiest costume to find. He was having a very interesting conversation with his group of friends, and I thought he was from Bangalore 1st. And I like this. Suddenly, you see a Malayali, you get that
the vibe.
telepathy. Oh, Malayali aano. So I kind of got to know that this guy is a South Indian for sure. I had a conversation with him. उनका तो मतलब मीडिया से दूर दूर तक कोई रिश्ता नहीं है. But now I think slowly he gets to know that what I do and
Right.
why I talk about certain things and why
Yes.
social media is very important. I think in the initial journey of our relationship, I had to make him understand that it's serious that we make content. You know, like he
Yeah.
never understood that in the beginning, but
Yeah.
he never stopped me from anything. He's like, "Tu apna kar," and he believes in space a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
मुझे ये space का concept सब पता ही नहीं था. I'm like, "Oh, what is space? Yeah, like if you're in a relationship, like my world revolves around you."
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I mean, I like my space too. And I think everybody needs that. So that's something that I learned from him. And that's what helps us today in a relationship when I say that we are happy doing what we do parallelly. Like we are in completely like two different world.
Yes.
He's into insurance. I do radio and all of that.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when we come back home to each other, we have our own things to talk about.
Yeah. And you look forward to it, which is the beautiful part
yes,
of it.
because वो time बहुत कम मिलता है, and that's also the city, right?
Yes.
Because every time at this age, when you've almost hit 30s and post 30s, you're thinking of earning money too.
Yes.
I mean, ये सब तो ठीक है. You love your, you know, you love your passionate job and everything, but is it paying you enough?
Right.
So you think of all of that. I think money is very important as well, and you don't really realize in that in your 20s, because I'm a 90s kid. Today's generation is very different. They've already started investing in cryptos and all of that, but I definitely wasn't one of them. I used to be a spendthrift, but nowadays, of course, passion भी चाहिए. I'm very driven. I want to do a lot of things. यार एक दिन भी अगर मैं घर बैठती हूँ, मुझे पता नहीं है, एक अजीब सी anxiety आ जाती है कि have I taken too long? But that's so unhealthy. You need to take a break when you really feel like taking a break. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, you know, and that's something even my workspace understands. This work-life balance
Yes.
really happens in some companies in Dubai,
Right.
and it needs to be given a lot of priority, because only then you learn more, only then you'll be recharged.
Yes.
या जब हमारी बैटरी खत्म हो जाती है तो recharge तो करती हो ना. That recharge is taking that time out for yourself. It doesn't have to be a very luxurious staycation doing like, hey guys, you don't have to do all of that.
How do you recharge? What do you do when you're taking time off?
Honestly, depends on everything ना.
Yeah.
अगर पैसा है तो recharge तो वैसे भी हो जाएगा. You don't even need that. Sometimes you can just be at home,
Right.
just at a comfort of your couch. It can be just Netflix or any OTT, or just speaking even to your best friends and taking that time out, or just spending some time alone at home. Sometimes I feel like मेरी identity कहीं ना कहीं खो जाती है. Because when you see a lot of content, a lot of chaos is created. So I need to disconnect from that and go back to myself and know who I really am. Sometimes going back to my hometown helps, like connecting with who I
Yes.
started my journey with.
Yes.
It could be your parents,
Yes.
could be your brother, it could be your best friends who you grew up with.
Yeah.
Those guys know you the best. अगर तू हीरोइन जैसे एक्ट करेगी, वो बोली क्या तेरे को क्या हो गया है? Those
Yes.
people who
They've
really
seen
need
you.
to,
They've seen you in chaddis and buddies.
yeah, like they will remind you of who you are.
Yes.
You know, you can't
and it's
pretend.
also beautiful because you pick up the conversation where you'd left 20 years ago, and you know you catch
and that's
up
the
there.
beauty
Yes.
of it. That really helps recharge my soul and be who I am, and I feel like yeah, this is who I was, right? कहीं ना कहीं वो खो जाती है. So you need to kind of brush that and then come back and be that nice middle class home girl that you were. क्योंकि कभी कभार ना, when you're in a city in this shore, you're trying to prove yourself a lot.
Yeah, every day.
Sometimes
right?
you're not that.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yes.
Sometimes we evolve. I've evolved a lot. Yes, I am not that girl, that Pavithra Menon who was like 20 years old. मैं बहुत बदल गई हूँ. But I've changed for my own good. When I look back at myself, yes, hell yes, I don't want to be that person. क्योंकि at this age, I want to be this person.
Yes. Yes. And you grow. I think you
Grow,
grow,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
learn and you grow and you evolve as a
Yeah.
person, as a human being, and your concepts and your values in life. isn't
Correct.
it?
I've heard this from my boss. इंसान गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. Talent कम हो तो चलेगा.
Agreed.
I want to stick to that for the rest of my life. I don't want to prove myself to be this person who is a demeanor of I don't know, पता नहीं कौन है ये. तो मेरे को भी imposter syndrome होता है, where you fake it. Sometimes you know you're not that person, but you want to look legit. But ठीक है, fake it till you make it, सब चलेगा.
Right.
But not to a level where I'm forgetting myself.
Be yourself is kind of the mantra for Pavithra these days.
Yeah, just find yourself
Find
somewhere. In
yourself.
that process, you will.
Yes.
You know.
And discover yourself.
Yeah,
and the
because
whole
I
thing.
think we're always trying to convince other people. आप इंटरव्यू ले रहे हो या बातचीत कर रहे हो, and city life can do that to you.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to do that connection with yourself and be like, यार तुम्हें एक्चुअल पसंद है ये करना, you know, think about it. नहीं है तो बोल दो ना no.
Do you say no? Do you say no to work or assignments or whatever comes your way? How do you pick and choose?
When you're under someone's visa, it's very difficult to say no.
Okay.
But I say no a lot these days. But no in a nice way. Like I'm not trying to be rude or anything because I feel very bad. Like sometimes I can snap.
Right.
I mean, with people who I really love.
Yeah.
Lekin 5 minute baad, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said that. But I usually like, you know, realize my mistakes very soon. But no is something that I think people need to start saying. बहुत important है वो.
Yes.
Because people can take you on a ride. You know, the thing is, it's not that person's fault.
Yes.
It's because you have been very available.
Yes.
So that person tends to think कि अच्छा इनके लिए बहुत आसान है ये करना, तो ठीक है मैं करवाती हूँ या करवाता हूँ. If you're conveniently doing everything,
Okay.
then you'll never look like you're uncomfortable in that space.
Right.
So I make it sound like, hey, I'm uncomfortable doing this, or I've never done this before, or I just don't want to do it at this stage.
Right.
तो मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी. Like in, you know, for example, when you're called for events and you can't do it could be because you're not paid enough for it. It could be because, और आपको भी ऐसे calls आते होंगे where you're asked to do certain work and you don't want to do it.
Yes.
And you're not going to be like, sorry, I'm not available.
Yes.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not available that day, I'm like, sorry, I have something else.
Right.
But I will tell them like, hey, there was a time when I took this much paisa or this much money to do this job.
Yeah.
But right now I'm at a stage where yaar itna kiya hai maine.
Huh.
You know, like I've
worked my way up,
I
right?
worked my way up. So
Yeah,
I think
I've
I
worked
deserve
hard
a little
for where
more.
yes.
And I say that in different ways. I
Yes.
don't know, like abhi nahi aa raha, but yeah, somehow manage it.
Lovely to hear. And I think there is an importance of saying no, right? Because you you work hard through the years and you get to a level and stage where you want to be with the right assignments, be with the right events you're hosting and all of that. Yeah. So you do a lot of things, right, Pavithra? You are an RJ, MC, hosting, singing. Which of these aspects of Pavithra is your favorite one? Like you're just yourself.
I like the Pavithra when she has a great conversation. Like I like myself now.
Oh, amazing.
I like myself when I'm at a professional stage as well. But I think this is my best self when I pour my heart out. Because this is me. And
This
there
is
is
the real
nothing
you.
adulterated
Yes.
here. You know,
Yeah.
there is no filter. I
Yes.
will speak.
Yes.
I'm someone who wears her heart on her sleeves, and I am like that. I can't have this pretentious thing, and I like myself that way. I like myself the best that way, and I want people to see me like that. Because sometimes people might, वो तो करते ही हैं लोग, judge तो करते ही हैं, but let them judge whatever they want. There is a certain me who, when she sings, I love singing. Of course, I mean, if I had to pick among all the other activities that I do,
Yes.
singing is my favorite. But if I analyze, am I a really good singer? No. Because
You're
I am a
amazing.
very critical person, like to
Okay.
myself. Like I am like, nahi yaar, like I need to do some more. And, you know, I am not that great. And I know that. मुझे अपनी कमियां पता है. But I tried to work on it. But sometimes I feel like, oh, तूने ये गा दिया. Wow. Like, how did you take that? Wow, that note was great.
I think self-appreciation is
Yeah,
equally
give myself
important.
a little bit of credit.
Yeah, you have to. Self-love, self-appreciation is really important for
Yeah.
you, for where you are.
And that's when you need this. Like,
Yes.
you need great friends like you, like someone who is going to uplift you.
Yes.
Sometimes I call my best friend and I go like, yaar, kuch acha nahi ho raha aaj, and I might just burst out crying and I break down. Or even Jaren helps me, and that's when I started off with his journey because he really helps me a lot.
Yes.
And conversation in any relationship is so important. The more you keep
Completely.
quiet and you keep it to yourself, you're going to feel angry, not just on yourself, even on the other person.
Yeah.
उन्होंने क्या बिगाड़ा है आपका? He's probably also had a bad day at work.
Yes.
I would come back home and I'd just be like, yaar, you know, this happened and I'm just not happy with what I'm doing at the moment. Pata nahi kuch sahi nahi ja raha. I'm putting out this content or I did this, but people are not taking me seriously. And he would be like, okay, what happened? You know, let's talk about it.
I think sharing is very important in relationships. Like I do the same with my husband, and it's good to share because
Yeah.
you're growing together, you're going on that journey together,
Yeah.
which both of you can be a part of. And whether sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad. It's a part
Yeah.
of life, isn't it? You touched on this talking about haters and trollers. And I'm sure when you post out content, you get both type of comments, right?
Yeah.
People love it and people kind of hate it. Do you ignore the haters or do you block them or what do you do with them?
I blocked quite a few. Because I don't like utter negativity and bullshit. Sorry. I don't take criticism very well. I am not someone who's like, oh my God, I'm so strong and I can take like hateful comments. No, I feel very bad. I remember I had opened for Neha Kakkar's concert. I posted a video about it. मुझे अच्छे messages तो आए, अच्छे comments आए. But there were a few like hateful comments probably because my Punjabi accent is not right. Probably because I didn't sing a particular song that they like to hear it. And that's completely fine. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But hateful comments bhi aate hain. They might just be like, use some really bad words and all of that. And then I just shut. Then I'm like, okay, that's not rational at all. You know, I don't have to take that. I feel bad about it.
Yes.
Again, I speak to a friend if I need to. Otherwise, I keep it to myself and I go like, hey, listen, I have also judged in my head when someone didn't sing very well according to me. But I didn't put it out there. But there are going to be all kinds of people.
Yes.
If you're getting so much tarif and credit for who you are, there's always a negative to positive, right?
Yeah. I always believe that the people who join in your journey are the one which vibe with you and are positive like you or in the same vibe with you, right? And the ones who cannot join or are negative or are haters or troller just have a different vibe and let them, they should mind their own business and not come and comment or, not use social media.
Whichever you say, they're gonna still do it.
Yeah.
The more you show that you're affected by it, they will do more of it. So now I started putting that mask, yaar, मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, because I have started this journey a while ago.
Yeah.
And तब से देख के आई हूँ. आज मेरे को आजकल तो बहुत मजा ही आ जाता है कभी कभार.
Really?
There are some funny people also.
Yeah.
So you look at that and you're just like, oh wow, I didn't think of that. So it's nice. If you don't know how to move on, then you can't reach your space.
Yeah.
Everybody, even एक झगड़ा हो जाता है घर पे मम्मी पापा के साथ और with your husband, you need to know how to move out of that space, solve it, get out and start fresh the next day.
Yes.
Because if you're going to take your personal cheezeं to work, then you won't be able to work.
Yeah.
And वो मैं भूल जाती हूँ. I don't know how radio kind of helps me do that.
Okay.
Once the mic is on, I forget about everything else. And there was also an incident that, happened in my family when I lost my grandmother, who was very, very close to me.
Right.
And at a time when I didn't expect her death so soon.
Okay.
And that happened while I was on radio. I was hosting a primetime show. It was in the evening when my brother texted me saying that Amuma passed away. And I'm like, what? And I didn't know what to do. So there are these moments of, self-challenges.
Yes.
To move out of a space that you don't want to be at. And radio really helps me do that. It's a challenge, but I don't know how I get that energy. And I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, are you okay? And she's also crying on the phone. It's her own mother.
Yes.
So I'm like, Mama, are you okay? And she said, yeah, tu kya kar rahi hai? Tu show pe hai na abhi? Like you're on a show right now, right? And I'm like, yeah, I am. You carry on. I'll speak to you once you're back home. And I said, are you sure? Yeah, if Amuma were alive, she would have want you to continue with your show. Just did my show.
So heart touching that was. No doubt that you love radio so much and you're so strong that you are the best RJ out there, one of the best RJs out there that we look up to. So we are loving this conversation with you, Pavithra, and we're going to move on to one of our favorite rounds, and this is what we call the rapid fire round.
Oh my
so this
God.
is what I call the direct dil se round.
Okay, I'm just going to answer truthfully, okay?
Just truthfully,
Whether you give it to me or not.
whatever the first thing comes to your mind. What's the most craziest or most adventurous thing you've done on air?
I have called Salim Merchant to make him listen to my cover. He picked up the call the first place and he really liked it.
If you won a lottery or a jackpot, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Oh, spend it. Like
Spend
put
it
my
on?
account and travel the world. I will buy a house. I will actually, my parents haven't done a lot of travel. So I want to see them travel together.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, of course, like, bachpan mein to, we weren't earning enough to do that. And I think looking back, I think they missed out a lot of time together. Because they always thought of doing something for us.
Sponsor trip for your parents around the world and send them on a world
all
trip.
of that. I'll find that spot jahan pe it's a less travel space
Right.
because of a particular reason.
Yes.
and I want to go there.
Do you love travel?
I like traveling, yeah.
Which is your favorite country in the world?
Wherever I've gone, I think dreamy would be Switzerland. I would definitely go back to Bali. I would go back to Albania. That's a nice country.
Albania it is.
Yeah.
Next one. If you could swap places with another RJ for a day, who would it be? If it's somebody else, would you want to swap place with anybody else in the world doing any other job?
I don't want to do anything which is like already nerve-wracking. You know, I want a very comfortable zindagi. I will want to be in some travel vlogger. Yeah. Unki
Yeah.
life swap karke. Yeah. I mean, I love to travel, right?
Yes.
So I'll probably do that. Or I want to live in the shoes of, if that's the deal.
Yes.
Can I say Kardashians?
Yeah.
यार ये
Why
करती
not?
क्या है मेरे को actually जानना
Why
है ये.
not?
But seriously, if someone who I look up to, Beyonce or someone.
Beyonce. I think you could sing along with her and have those
And on
amazing
the day
concerts.
of a concert. Oof, wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's the most weirdest fan request you've got?
So there was this guy who messaged me who was upset कि उसको यहाँ पे job नहीं मिल रहा था. And he asked me to send a video to him consoling him, and I have no idea who this person is, by the way.
Did
He's
you do
like,
that?
No, are you mad? Actually, we have this entertainment time. जब भी मैं बोर होती हूँ ना,
हाँ.
तो I want to show off also कि कितने लड़के मेरे को मैसेज करते हैं to my husband. If he's not giving me enough attention.
Interesting.
और लड़कियों को क्या ही कमी है
Yes.
attention. तो मैं दिखाती हूँ, रिक्वेस्ट पे जाती हूँ. रिक्वेस्ट वाला कॉलम नहीं होता.
Of course.
I'm just like, these are the messages I get. And I will be like, hi baby, how are you? Are you sleeping? You are my sweetheart.
Yes. You look gorgeous
You're
today.
my darling. You look gorgeous. So I show all that. And he's also having a good time.
And what's his reaction?
And when a ladka has said, you know, ठीक ठाक से English बोल दिया, and he looks also great. He's
Yeah.
like, अच्छा दिखा. दिखा. Oh, ये ऐसे दिखा. अच्छा. और उसके ऊपर क्या बोला है उसने? अच्छा.
Do you both talk on WhatsApp or Instagram sending reels?
No, I am
or-
a very call person.
You're a call
Like if I
person?
want to communicate, I would rather call. I'm not a
Okay.
WhatsApp person at all.
No?
Mera texting and all is so bad. Like
Yeah.
people probably don't even understand what I'm texting. Like I would like I'm like that. So I don't really like put my words in the correct place. So I would rather be like, hello. There are people who voice note as well. I'm not
Yes.
that. I'm
Okay,
call.
just hello call.
Yeah, I'm that old school person.
What's the one secret that nobody knows about you?
I'm also very sensitive. I can cry when I watch an emotional film.
Oh, do you
Especially if it's
cry?
about dogs. Oh my God, I can like cry and cry and cry. If it's about kids, if it's about dogs. I'm a very emotional person.
What's the best compliment you've got that you still remember and I'm like, oh my God, that was a wow day?
I feel like when people see me as who I am, I'm not sure if I'm kind or anything, but just a human, like a nice person.
Yeah.
You know, I really like talking and I like spending time with people and I'm honest. When people tell me that you're real, yeah, sometimes when people tell me you're very real, तो इतनी कैसी मतलब real हो सकती है, you know? How
No,
can
you are very real, right? So I think you're talking direct dil se,
Yeah.
basically.
So when
right?
people
There's
tell
no
me that,
pretense, Pavithra.
yeah, when
right?
people
It is
say
you.
I'm grounded,
Yes.
that is probably the biggest compliment. Apart from you're humble. And I think a lot of that credit goes to your parents for bringing you up. That's a good credit.
I
Yeah.
think that sounds very nice.
Yeah.
My last question, if there was one person, whether it's a celebrity or not, other than your husband, you could take out for dinner, who would it be?
Kusha Kapila.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
What about-
her.
what
She's
about
funny,
her?
right?
Yeah.
She's really funny.
Yeah.
Man, so she's one of those people who've been, I've been following her journey for so long, since 2016, 2017, since she started making these reels. Her or Shilpa Rao, I really look up to her. Nikita Gandhi is someone I really love listening to. She has a great voice. So yeah, I mean, some of those interesting people, it'll be nice to talk to them.
I think we'll have a table full of women out there.
I've also had a dream that I was spending a day with Deepika Padukone because I'm obsessed with her.
I think she's doing everything right, isn't it? Like
Or
whatever
maybe
she
her
does.
PR team is doing everything right. How can you be still so graceful and beautiful and, you know, how are you so disciplined?
Yeah.
That.
You have to be. You have
Because,
to be.
you know, I'm not that person. I'm so scattered. I'm a little clumsy. I'm scattered. My husband's very, like, strict. Like,
He's organized.
a cleanliness freak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
We
he
didn't know
loves
about
his house clean. I mean, if you come to my house and if you find it clean, it's all him. Because मेरा तो से बिखरा हुआ. But I can hardly keep it together with my clothes sometimes.
Well, it's been a lovely rapid fire round. What about the future, Pavithra? What's coming up? What are the exciting projects coming in the next couple of months that we get to see you doing?
There are a few interesting projects in line. Like I have a few collaborations in the pipeline. I have a few musical stuff that I'm focusing on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
focusing on releasing a single. I've been doing a lot of covers and I want to focus on making my own music. So that, a lot more on music, a lot more on myself. I want to focus on my health. I want to focus on my relationship. I want to be a better person, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I get carried away by a lot of negative thoughts. I want to control my mind somehow. I want to learn the art of controlling yourself, controlling your mind, being a better person, say the right things at the right time, be at the right places, meet beautiful people like you, and just have a good time.
Thank you so much for your time today. It's been amazing chatting for you. And like promised, we do have a hamper from Reeva.
Thanks.
This is our empowered and ambitious hamper.
Oh, wow.
For strong women like you who continue to inspire more and more Indian women in Dubai, as we call
This
it.
is incredible.
And yes.
When women support each other, incredible things happen, and that's true.
And that's what the mantra of our community and our work is.
I mean,
So
we don't
absolutely.
just say this when we say,
Yes.
let's fix each other's crowns. We have to do that. We
Yes.
have to learn how to do that. Sometimes jealousy does come in the way, but that's okay. It's fine. ये सब human emotions हैं. It's okay to feel insecure,
Yeah.
but know when to not have those negative thoughts
Yes.
come in the way.
Yes.
You know, there are so many people who have their own struggle. You'll never know what took them to reach here.
Yeah.
So I started reiterating all of these things in my mind and be like, yaar, unki bhi struggle hai. She's also going through a lot of bad days or good days, or you know, there are guys and girls who are both hustling. And let everybody just do well, yeah, in their careers. Let everybody just prosper. सबको अच्छे से मतलब
Yeah.
let everybody just do well.
I think together we can all grow, and there's
Yeah.
space for everybody to
That's
grow.
true.
I
And when
think
that happens,
it's a beautiful world.
oh, that'll be a beautiful feeling. Yeah, that'll be nice. But thank you so much for this. I can see a lot of my favorite products.
Well, it's been beautiful chatting with you, Pavithra, but we can't finish this show without having you sing. So one request for please to have a little song for us.
और मनवा तू तो बावरा है, तू ही जाने तू क्या सोचता है, तू ही जाने तू क्या सोचता है बावरे, क्यों दिखाए सपने तू सोते जागते, जो बरसे सपने बूंद बूंद नैनों को मूंद मूंद, जो बरसे सपने बूंद बूंद नैनों को मूंद मूंद, कैसे मैं कहूँ देख ना सकूँ अनजाने रास्ते, गूंजा सा है कोई एक तारा गूंजा सा है कोई एक तारा, गूंजा सा है कोई एक तारा गूंजा सा है कोई एक तारा, दिल में बोले कोई एक तारा धीमे बोले कोई एक तारा, गूंजा सा है कोई एक तारा गूंजा सा है कोई एक तारा.
Brilliant. It was super amazing. It's been amazing chatting with Pavithra. I enjoyed this episode a lot. I'm hoping you did too. And we'll be back with our next one very soon.